G'day everybody and welcome back to the Hardball Gets AFL show. This podcast is proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do ute. Today on the show, it's the 6 points leading into round 20. If you haven't subscribed wherever you listen to your podcasts, please do that. Leave us a rating, leave us a review and tell your mates. All right, let's get stuck in. The Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan.
My name's not Ryan.
No, you're not Ryan Daniels.
I'm
Chris
not Ryan.
Robinson.
Hello.
I was going to say,
What an
and
intro.
then 40, who's producing today, didn't fade out the intro music and he just completely rattled me.
No, just be stoked that 40 hit the music. I don't want about him fading in and out.
I was rattled and I got Ryan's name wrong. Chris Robinson's here with us
Hello,
today.
everybody.
How you going?
It's lovely to be here.
Usually
Thanks for the intro, the kind words. It's very much
I feel
appreciated.
like we started, I'm trying to just say you are usually here on a Thursday. We started consistently this year and I feel like we've been all over the show.
Yeah,
We've struggled to put our best team out on the park.
We have. It's like most people this time of year, right?
Yeah,
Everyone's carrying something at this time of year.
and Wayne, what's your restriction? What's your reason?
My reason?
Yeah, for being inconsistent.
It's a lot. I've had little work things going all over the place. And children.
And yours?
Mine's mainly children. I had tonsillitis last week, which would not recommend. But mainly children. Yeah. Let's blame the kids.
What's yours?
No, I front up every week.
Oh, yeah.
Rain, hail, or shine, I'm here.
You going for one of your other 30 jobs?
Yeah, I'd actually
in.
just, it doesn't matter. Let's just keep going, actually.
right.
I was gonna say, it's not important.
All right, well, this is 6 points. Let's just get straight into it. We haven't discussed what we're going to talk about.
I'm going to
That's
go
always a red
first
flag.
because I'm looking at
All
it right now. From your memory over the last 20 years, so Stewie Drew's at the Ashes, fifth test starting tonight.
Yeah, it was
I
like
can't wait for that.
Within days, right?
I've backed the Aussies. I don't know why. Am I an idiot? I've backed the Aussies, though. Bazball and Piers Morgan can sit on that, to be honest. Sit right on it. And that was me not doing anything for those out there. Stewie Drew's kicking the footy in this clip. So I saw it this morning and I was like...
It's literally on your phone as a 1 second loop.
Yeah.
Repeated over and over again as Stewie Drew just banging on the left.
He's the best kick of the football I've ever seen, Stewie Drew. And he's the best kick... Who is the top three kicks? Can we do a quick top three?
Yeah, okay, leave Stewie in there.
We've ever seen in our little time. So we're all similar ages.
Yep.
So someone will go, oh, what about so-and-so from the 60s? I don't care. From our own time.
So in terms of
Tubbs
most
McCracken.
accurate or who you just love watching kick the football?
Love watching and you'd love, if you were a good forward, you'd love them to have the football.
David Mundy was one.
Yeah, David Mundy. I wouldn't have put Dave Mundy in there, but good call.
Yeah, he'd lace out. Well, you talked to Matthew Pavlich just said I would take David Mundy every day of the week, just lacing me out.
Dave Mundy, Stewie Drew,
Scott Pendlebury.
Scott Pendlebury. We don't give Scott Pendlebury enough credit for
Just
love
at
like
everything.
his kicking or anything, do we?
Yeah.
We just clump him in as being good.
He's
He used to play
that good.
basketball.
Yeah.
Did he used to play basketball?
He did used to
Has
play
that ever been
basketball.
brought up before? Basketball
Do you know?
background?
This reminds me.
I used to play against him.
Hoops?
At basketball.
Did ya?
Wow.
What were you, hoops-wise?
Better than him.
Yeah, describe yourself. Describe your basketball.
Just a bit of do it all.
just like a
all-rounder.
Marcus Smart kind of just.
No. Way better scorer.
Oh, okay. K-Day.
So probably closer to a LeBron version.
Fun fact I was going to say.
It's just LeBron. If I had to compare,
If I had to
Positionless.
honestly compare myself to a player in Lakes Entrance, it's a small town.
you ushered in a new era of positionless
In
basketball.
Lakes Entrance
Could play all
basketball,
five, could guard all five.
I was probably the Michael Jordan. There's only 200 people in my area. Anyway, so...
So the fun fact I was going to say, the Jed Walter kid, the key forward who's going to the
Nope.
Suns,
Yeah.
Yes. Also
He's-
basketball background.
he's from Perth.
You
Moved when he was 9.
Okay.
I saw that yesterday.
What's like the info I gave you the other day on Sam Flanders?
Well, the
Caleb
acceleration.
Sarong intel. I heard this,
was
yeah.
was a basketball before and extremely powerful and quick. I never knew any of that. All right, so we got Pendles, Dewey, and Mundy
'Cause
in the can.
Yeah. There's more. There's got to be more. but
Do you know
that's the
why I
first one off
reckon?
the top.
So Scott Pendlebury, you never see him spear the shit out of the football, do you?
No.
He always just a nice, slow action.
He knows where it's going.
Massages it.
What does Dave Mundy do?
Yeah, same thing.
And Stewie Jew can do it all, but yeah.
Stewie Jew does whatever else.
Oh, there you go.
Bangs goals.
That's
from
my top
60.
three. That's our top three.
I did see some comments on that Stewie Jew vision where
You're
it's
going to
like
get dizzy saying that.
Geelong fans getting PTSD right now just watching Stewie Jews wheeling onto
Have you
the
ever sat down and watched on YouTube the 5 minutes of Stewie Jew?
No.
Oh, is it like a super clip?
Yeah, they've just packaged it up.
Just from the 08
From the 08
grand final? Okay.
Yeah, go have a look
here
at
we
it.
go.
Get it up tonight.
Wowee.
And then you'll see one opportunity where he should have handballed back to me. Rather than kicking a snap on his left, I slot that. I've kicked 2 and had 30.
That could have been the difference. That
is
could have been the
difference.
medal right
Yeah,
there.
And
One
then,
and
and then
30.
Sam Mitchell in the last quarter arrogantly goes on his left from 45 with me on my left there. So really, I kicked 3.
Yeah. So you've been
And you
spooned
wouldn't
by
know
2
Smith.
future AFL coaches
Yeah.
who should have known better.
Yeah.
40 would be a good time. Hit that siren, mate.
Have a look at him. He's drunk. He's drunk.
All right, I'll drop in next. Segue from Stuart Jew. So the next, the Damien Hardwick stuff, talk to the Suns. Richmond have obviously got a spot open, Andrew McQualter. And I saw him mentioned today, and I think it's a very good shout as like one of the guys that you'd want to get in that position, right? We've typically had 3 or 4 assistant coaches seen as the next man up. This year, there's probably less around the traps. Is that fair?
I couldn't tell you who.
Yeah, well, I'm going to throw Josh Carr into the mix.
You saw.
Definitely.
What was he on TV this morning doing?
He was assistant coach at Port Adelaide. So he's
Yeah,
probably
I reckon there was a story on him today.
Oh, right.
So I was like, what's Josh Carr on TV for?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
He's probably in the running. So I think, I saw him, and I couldn't tell you where it was. I saw it briefly. Someone raised him in the Richmond conversation. It's a good shout because I think the most telling thing about Josh Carr's influence is the Fremantle midfield's performance last year
100%.
when he was the midfield coach compared to this year, and Port Adelaide's performance this
I think
year.
assistant coaches get too much credit for that, though.
You
They're
take that
lines.
line. Yeah.
They
well,
get too
still.
much credit for that.
Well, they're going
That's
to
on
get
the
credit for
players.
something, mate. They sit there cutting vision for
No,
that.
I
It's
get
a
that.
joyless existence.
No, I get that. But it's on the players. It's not on the assistant coach. Yeah, they're helpful.
That's a big swing for him, though, to have Freo performing like they are and then Port
No,
performing
yeah,
like
certainly
they
he
are.
would
It's
be
the
selling
double
it.
But
swing.
it's like Sam Mitchell. Oh, they wouldn't have won 18 without Mitchell. Well, they would have. Like, I can guarantee they would have. He's a handy piece, but he wasn't the coach. I can guarantee it. But yeah, okay, Josh Carr goes in.
So he was, and I like his coaching journey, right? So he went into Port Adelaide 2011 to 2015 as an assistant, and then did I'm gonna have to run my own team for a while.
11 to
So went back
15 at
North
Port.
Adelaide. 11 to 15, yeah.
At Port.
At Port Adelaide.
Well, that was prelim finals time for Port, wasn't it?
That was,
14 they were
15.
prelim.
14 was that real close one, yeah.
Yeah.
So then he went, I've got to go run my own side. So
Yeah.
coached North Adelaide for 3 years, won a flag at Sandford level.
Nice.
And then came to Fremantle straight from there and then back to Port. And seen early in the year as like, if Ken falls over, maybe he's brought in for a reason. Ken hasn't fallen over, obviously.
No, Ants doesn't re-signed?
Yes, doesn't resign.
I'll tell you, so Andrew McQualter, and I've said it a million times, I'm dead against the assistant coach getting the job after someone's left the job.
Yep.
But it's different because Dimmer would still be coaching
Yes,
if he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
just
yeah.
walk away. But he has to be the top of the queue for everyone else now, doesn't Andrew McQualter? So even if he doesn't get Richmond's in time when there's a job for just picking.
Go coach.
Just picking.
What
Adelaide,
if Hardwick
whatever.
says he doesn't want to coach next year? Like,
Andrew McQualter has to be in the top couple straight just because of the job he's done at Richmond, right?
It's interesting. I've got the market here for
What's the
the
market?
Yeah.
Richmond job. So McQualter's $1.72.
Yeah.
And
Really?
Carr is second at $3.75.
Okay.
The other names on there, Justin Lepage, which is fair enough.
I heard some really good things about Justin Lepage during the week, actually.
Yeah. Adam Uze, who's almost been forgotten about. He was
Yeah,
close
well,
to getting the GWS job.
He's
from
starting
all
to get into
reports.
the Summer territory.
Yeah,
He's gone for
getting
enough
overlooked
jobs.
a few times.
Yeah.
So he's fourth favourite, and Don Pike is on there as well. Hayden Skipworth's on there as well.
Skippy.
Former Essendon,
I've been
Adelaide.
pissed with Skippy around the world a million
Have
times.
you?
He travelled the world with him
Would
a
he
few
be a
times.
good senior coach?
No, he'd be a good coach. He was Essendon, coached Essendon Rezzies, Essendon,
Okay.
now Collingwood, yeah. No, geez, Positano, Rome. I've done America with him. I've done everything with him.
When's the next time you're going to travel? I was thinking this the other day. with
Next
the
year,
kids. Are you going
Royal
next year?
Ascot.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
kidless.
Oh, yeah, see, that's it, yeah.
Jeez, how are you going to pull? How are you going to swing that?
Oh, mate, I do everything at home. I am the rock at home. Swing it. I was going to get on a plane and leave and be like, I'll be home when I'm home. I have so many credits in the bank. I'm almost going to have to be licensed with ASIC. That's how far in front I am. She's off again on an interstate trip next week. Yeah. Oh. I could live. I could do 12. I could do a gap year and come back, and I'm still in front. No, I love her dearly. She doesn't want to. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
But I am going to Royal Ascot next year, and that's already approved and everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's been
Approved.
ticked off.
No, M says like
Yeah, is
shit.
there a written submission?
It's been booked in as leave.
M says like you should just go. Like you need to go away for a while.
Yeah, nice. How often does she say that?
No, I also
you need to go away.
Can I tell you what she said to me actually yesterday? How's this? I registered to get a golf membership at Cottesloe.
Yeah,
Can I use a one fruity word in this segment?
you go for it.
I registered at Cottesloe to get a membership there, right? So you pay $100, and then I think to get in is about 10 grand. But then that's your sign up fee, and then it's much less throughout the years. And I said to Em, like, do you mind if I do this? She goes, I don't care what you do, just shut up and stop talking to me.
That's approval. That's an approval.
That's what I thought. I tried to get my phone out and record it as like domestic violence. Don't speak to me like that. Anyway.
It's a good result. I'm going to jump in. So I thought I'd do a bit of a strength of schedule check over these last 5 games in terms of who's got a good one and who doesn't.
I'm hoping it's not St Kilda and Essendon, but it's going to be.
Not as much as you'd think. So
I
this
thought
is...
Essendon had earlier in the year we were saying they had it easy as.
I thought they were going to play Coburg or something for one round.
Yeah, well, stick with me. So this doesn't take into account where the games have been played.
Right.
This is purely on average
If you're good enough, you should win every
ladder
round.
position of where everybody is right now, right? So the easiest schedule coming home is Melbourne, who played the last 5 games, they play an average of 12.8. So the team that is 12.8th on the ladder, basically. So
Love that.
they don't play a top 8 side in their last 5
Here they
games.
come.
So they should be able to lock in a top 4 spot.
When's Clary back?
Oh, geez.
Next week, I think.
Yeah, or like 21 or 22. It keeps kind of getting pushed back. I'm a little worried about Clary. Then it's West Coast, which is fair enough because they're playing a lot of people above them, obviously 12.2. The Bulldogs are at 11.8, so the Bulldogs still haven't played West Coast yet. Haven't played West
Really?
Coast for a season and a half, which is...
Who kicks more goals,
Amazing.
Jamara or Norton in that game?
Nah, Norton goes to town.
You reckon?
Yeah,
30.
6 and 5 or something. Then it's Sydney, which is good news for them. They could have a bit of a shake coming home. Then it's North. Then it's Essendon. So they've got the
Sydney
6th
were
easiest.
$8 to make the 8 last week.
It's worth thinking about. They've got an
about
average
it.
of 11.8, so they basically play the 12th.
I think off the
best
top of
team
my head, they've got in there the Swans,
They are the Swans.
Essendon Giants, Adelaide. They've got Melbourne's the only side they've got that's they would be starting as sort of a clear outsider.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So Essendon have the 6th easiest, so they have North and West Coast in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah,
which
so
helps.
that helps big time.
That helps big time. But in between that, they've got Sydney this week, which is a huge game, and then the Giants up there, and then Collingwood. So 2 tough ones to finish.
So they could lose all 3 of them.
They could, yeah. And then the toughest at the other end, so the 5th toughest is GWS, 7.8 is the number. Richmond, 6.8. Carlton, 6.4. So there's a bit of a storm coming for Carlton here.
The only thing is they're humming though. Gee, I wish Sam Walsh was available and Harry Mackay was
So do I
available
for my
tomorrow
fantasy
night.
team as well. Gosh.
But just for like interest of pushing, I just love seeing Collingwood pushed.
Yeah. Yeah, they still
saw
could
that
do it.
last
They've
week.
got the cavalry coming back, so Cripps and Chera both ticked off.
Yeah, I saw that.
This
They're
morning.
both
Yeah, I don't
busted.
know. Still not.
I could give it a shake. And then the second
Not
hardest
Carlton.
is Hawthorn, which doesn't matter massively. The hardest
They'll get through that though.
at an average of 5.8, so playing just about the 6th best team every week, is Geelong coming home. So they've got Freo, Port, Collingwood, St Kilda, and the Dogs. So outside of Freo, all top 6 teams on the ladder.
I think they'll win 2 of those.
Yeah, at least.
So they're no absolute walk-up.
But that is the one team though that gets a little bounce if it is at home.
They've got 3 at home.
yeah, the old
3 at home and 2 in
Don't mind.
They're
Melbourne,
unbeatable
so-
at home. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So
Okay.
testing times for particularly Carlton coming home, and then the Dogs should be pretty right to
Dogs
push for
and
that sort of
Melbourne.
5 and 6, and Melbourne should be right for that top 4. So
Gee, I love that, Robbo.
be interesting to see how we go.
Rob always brings
Robbo brings the gear. Let's just do a little bit of a health check around the country with footy.
Oh, is this a VFL?
No. Well done to Mick Barlow too, Sydney Eagle first. So in terms of finals around the corner, Victoria's going to be well represented. Obviously Collingwood, Melbourne, Bulldogs, etc. Adelaide's going to be represented with Port. Brisbane's going to be represented. Queensland's going to be represented with Brisbane.
Yep.
Sydney's going to be represented by the Giants.
Should get there.
And we don't have anyone, right?
No.
Do you see next year that changing? Do you see next year, this year's been a disappointment, do you see next year West Coast can't make the finals next year.
No.
You obviously put a line through that. Do you expect Fremantle next year to bounce?
My expectations are lower than they once were, but
Do
would
you
hope that they're
expect
back
Fremantle to be back
Yes,
in
I
the game
do.
next year?
Yeah, I do.
Robbo?
They're definitely in the conversation, yeah. Yeah, I see them in that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 conversation. They have to be, right? Next year. And they'll have the easy, if they can stay in the bottom 6, which you'd think they
get a
will from
better
here.
draw.
We said
get
that
a
though.
bit of
and
a bounce out of that
West
draw.
Coast ended up playing the top 4. Remember at the start of the season, West Coast draw? It was like, they're going to be 0-5.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good they are. They were shit last year.
Yeah.
They're shit this
Well,
year. They're playing
that-
everyone.
I
They're
mean,
almost
that's
0
true.
and 18, so...
Yeah.
We have seen a lot of sides fluctuate year to year, so it's almost like sometimes you think this is the easy draw, and then it turns out to be a horror one.
Remember when last year Collingwood?
Yeah.
And I was like, I've got Collingwood, you beauty.
and then they
And
storm
they were
home.
unbelievable.
Yeah, and so I'm not as much on that easy draw, tough draw at the start of the year as I once was. I think it's fluctuating a lot more.
What would you say Fremantle need to do to assure that they go up the ladder?
It's a good question. They need to fix the midfield,
Absolutely midfield. Yeah,
Midfield?
they need to figure that out.
and whether they just need to bring in one more
I'm forward.
your forward. But I think the forwards just haven't got it. Like it's not down there. Like how?
I thought you meant got it like ability.
Oh no, they've got an ability. They're just young.
yeah.
So Jai Amos is not moving anywhere.
I can't wait. He needs to do a pre-season and get up the ground a bit
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. He needs to touch the ball a lot more, which you
Because you saw on the weekend, like Sam Taylor on Max King?
Yeah, Ben King.
Ben King. Did not get near the football. Was
No,
disinterested.
Didn't look like getting
Because
there.
Sam Taylor can move.
Yes.
Like, if you can't move, you're fighting against it, aren't you? And that's why, Jai Miss is such a great football to watch.
Yep.
But
But
if
he
you're not
needs-
kicking 3 goals, you're not touching the footy. He needs to be, like that Rewalt. He obviously can't run like Rewalt, but he hasn't done a
There
pre-season.
have been moments where he's up on the wing, but I also think they get trapped so much in the back. It's like it shuts down one before him and never makes it. We see.
What's he like as a field kick? I cannot remember him running on the wing, kicking the ball,
Yeah.
like like an actual in play.
without
Field
kicking the
marking
football.
it. Yeah,
I think a couple
Yeah.
in from the pocket to someone, which
Yeah.
has been pretty good. But yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
he has like 6 touches.
The ball's
for 4
out. The
goals.
ball's out the back. Here he goes. Take a bounce. We haven't seen it.
No,
That'd be
haven't
good.
seen it.
How do they fix the starts though?
That's strange.
Yeah.
They've won 2 of their past 22 first
So
quarters.
did you-
2 of 22. That's
So-
basically a whole season's worth.
When the Giants and Suns came in, their record was better.
yeah,
For first quarters.
First quarters.
Make match payments conditional on being ahead of the first
You
quarter.
lose 25% if you're not up at quarter
done.
time.
Yeah, then you cut.
Yeah, the first quarter thing's crazy.
yeah.
I'm going to add the Dacos contract onto the table here.
No, love it.
2029.
Love it. Sign him for 50 years. I don't
He's
care.
the one. He's
Yeah.
the one.
He's the one. Goulden, I'd accept too.
Yeah, good. Is a good shout.
But it's like I'm so emotional reading these articles.
Yeah.
Because first minute I'm reading Dacos $1 million for 7 years, whatever, great.
Yeah.
And then I go to Ben Mackay,
Million
5
bucks.
years,
Yeah.
and you're like, what?
yeah.
So like
Not the
in
same
the
player.
end, I'm spitting venom at Nick Dacos because of my anger I've read from the previous article. Just give those players 3 years.
So he's got Dacos. He was drafted with the other 2, which a lot of people are. Oh, I thought it was actually they'd given him 4 additional years when they drafted him, but I was wrong. So they're adding 4 years to it, so he'll be out at the end of 2029. Funny in this, and
They would have restructured.
so they would have restructured
the next 2 as well.
because he's now
He can't be on 250 next year.
No, he's
It's like
probably
Steph
gonna be
Curry.
on a bump.
Remember, like
We'll bump
gee
you up to
whiz.
260, mate. You've
Yeah.
shown a bit.
How are they paying this super team? Because Steph Curry's
Yeah,
getting
Steph
nothing.
Curry was the fourth,
Yeah.
fourth highest
Golden
guy on that
State's
team.
good, yeah, because Steph's playing for free.
Yeah. So one thing that's lost in this, so there was a discussion around like third-party deals and everything. Gary Lyon was on radio saying he'd be the AFL's first $2 million player. Gary Ablett was already that. Gary Ablett was getting $2 million contract wage at Gold Coast for a season.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in the early days. $2 million, he cleared. So we have had a $2 million player.
Well, I need to audit that.
I'm about 78% confident.
You need to chase that. Chase, find me an article where it
No,
says
there
that.
was. Someone put it in front of me recently, and that was I was like, wow, I can't remember that. But yeah, he got $2 million.
Do you remember that, Robert?
No.
I don't remember.
It's not to say it's not true.
I'm looking it up. Yeah, talk about yourself. Anyway, he's not the first $2 million player, but it must be good coin. It's got to be like it's in the millions already. To do that rather than hold and expect to win a Brownlow and everything else, and then sign.
No, but it's as good. Like it's
going to get good money.
Yeah, it's the same as what. I don't know who's a good young player. I don't know.
Ben Mackay.
Yeah.
No, Ben Mackay could be a good player. He hasn't played.
It's not that young, though.
He hasn't played either. What are you signing up 5 years for when he hasn't played?
Dacos is also one of those guys, though, who you can just never envisage him leaving Collingwood.
No.
He's never not going to be at Collingwood. He's got the family connection, both current and past.
Everything.
He's got a great coach. They're a great team. Like, you can't envisage.
But I
a
think,
scenario
too,
where
if you
he's
said
not
to Nick Dacos, we're thinking $1 million, and he'd like go, oh, gee whiz, I think I'm worth 1.3. But $1 million is a significant.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
There you
Like,
go. Unconfirmed reports at the time, Gary Ablett had his contract included a year where he earned $2 million. Payment was heavily loaded while the expenditure on other talent was minimised. So there would have been a year he got $2 million.
Is that a big footy? You're rating that off?
That's big footy.
And what did that say?
Catering,
Did you say
catering nuppies.
did you say confirmed?
Yes, the word confirmed was in there.
You're too easy, Nick.
That's great. Coach of the year. Who do we want? Who do we
Has to
like?
be McRae.
McRae.
Has to be.
McRae?
Right?
Has to be. Let's
Okay.
not overcomplicate it.
He's the number one seed.
Give him
If
a
you-
9-year coach of the year deal.
Okay, let me phrase it for you a different way. So McRae, and I completely
Take
agree
him
with
out of
McRae. No, if you're doing it as looking at how you've performed, how the coach and the team has performed relative to expectation,
But where'd you have Collingwood at the start of the season? Did you have them dropping down?
I had them coming back to the mean a little bit with all those close finishes
I
and
think
stuff.
I had
yeah.
them 6th to 8th.
Yeah,
Because if they lost,
because
if
they're
they
all the
lost,
one-pointers.
if they lost 2 of those games they won last year, they would have finished 8th
yeah,
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Instead, they just got
30%
better.
Yeah, so my expectations were to drop down.
Yeah.
And they're right up there.
And they've
What's
gone.
a percentage lift? Like, if you had to judge it, like a team has got to get X percent better for them to like get
To go
the coach
past
of the year.
Collingwood. Oh, to get.
No, to be like coach of the year.
okay.
So I reckon they've improved like 25-30% on last year.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's McRae.
And then the next one probably Hinkley in terms of percentage output
Potentially.
increase.
Well,
What
this
about,
is why I wanted to have the debate. What about
Brad Scott.
Yeah, Brad Scott, you can make a case for. What about Adam Kingsley?
Yeah.
Kingsley's a good shout
Where
too.
did we have the Giants? And
But
now
he'd
all of a
have to
sudden
give
they're
it straight to
storming
Sam
into the
Taylor.
Yeah.
It'd just have to go, here, Sam. That's unusual. I'm not a coach, though, but you're taking it, son.
Also, I'm not telling him in person if he doesn't win it. He's a massive unit.
Kingsley?
He is.
Yeah.
He's the biggest. He'd
large.
be the most ripped AFL coach.
I think one of
Now that
us.
Stewie Jew's gone.
Now Stewie Jew, yeah.
I think one of us 3 locked the Giants as their overs this start
I
of this
think he might
season.
have done.
Locked them. I was big on them, but I didn't realise they're going to be like.
They've always been your kind of like irrational confidence team.
Oh
though, haven't
God,
they?
it's like my schoolie's kiss. I just keep thinking about
Just
it.
keep going back to the
Yeah.
orange. Just dream about orange and charcoal.
Shout out Mrs. Green.
But the one thing though with the Giants, so my little brother lives 200 metres from the stadium virtually. He's a member, so he goes to the games.
Sure.
He actually thoroughly enjoys the experience. Like, they're not brilliant that they smash the life out of teams, and they're not that bad that everyone that
true.
comes up to watch,
Yeah, has a bad time.
they're a chance to win.
Plus, he gets an
Like-
A1 seat because there's only about 3.5.
He actually ran out with them one day.
yeah.
They're like, right, everyone pick someone from the crowd. There's one bloke waving his hand.
Sitting on the end of the
Right,
bench
come
for
on,
the
in you
game.
come. But like, there's a good point. Like giant games when you watch them on TV, you know that it's going to be a good game of footy because they're not shit and they're not good.
And you got the Toby factor as well. He's always doing something.
Someone texted me the other day. Actually, we spoke about who's the best forward in the comp you'd take, and we all said Charlie Curnow.
Yeah,
I'm taking that. I'm
we said
taking
key
that away.
forward. That's
Did
why
I
I
say
didn't pick
key
Toby.
forward
We
or
said key
forward?
No, I said key forward.
Did I?
Because
Okay.
I thought
Forward then, what would you take?
Yeah, I'm probably still Curnow, but Toby's
No, I'm
right
Toby.
there.
Toby and then
Did
Taylor.
we need a bit? I know he's gone off the boil, but did we need a bit more love for Jeremy Cameron in that debate?
No.
He's not up to boil.
Given his first, 7, 8, 9 weeks of the season,
Yeah,
he
we're
was
not picking
like
for
best
for
player in the comp.
7-week stretch.
Okay, yeah, but if you flip it though, if he had a quiet first 7 or 8 weeks and then the past 7 or 8 weeks
Yeah.
has been ridiculous,
Yeah, I'm Toby. I'm still Toby. Yeah, maybe a
I think
conversation v Curnow.
Jezza can figure it out.
Maybe a conversation v Curnow, but
If it's
I'm
all
Toby.
forwards, Rankin. Isaac Rankin.
Ned
So you're
McKinley.
still smoking, aren't
Is that us?
I think that's time for some hardball bets.
Hardball bets. Thanks to the Tab Touch app.
All right, I'll roll in with a pretty simple one. Nick Dacos, get off the chain, just kick 2 goals amongst his 48 disposals. $3.50. That's
Friday
right.
night stage
Friday
against
night
Collingwood.
Football.
Like it. Shout out to Jake Colvin, who almost got me over the line last week. Brisbane, someone else, possibly Collingwood, and then he took his beloved Port Adelaide, who got absolutely nutted by Collingwood. That was looking very, very good for a long time there. So shout out to Colvin, who almost got me home. I'm taking a four-legger. Collingwood will do Carlton tomorrow night. Brisbane to win, Port to win, and then West Coast 1-39 at home against North Melbourne.
I don't know how to tip that game.
I think West Coast have to win that game at home, don't they?
Do they?
Oh,
Don't
you
they?
need to see the ins. You need to see the ins and outs.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
sort of
I'm
team.
taking them because they're 255 in that game. So if you bag it up, it's 691. I'm taking another swing at the stumps
Do
here.
they try anything? Like just try to chuck people in different positions?
I
again,
feel like
or-
this is one where they have to set themselves and be like, we're not going to not finish last, but we have to win this game.
Oh, it's just... Yeah.
So as it stands right now, you're probably tipping North, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
well, I'm going to write, so I'm sticking with the favourites at the moment, just waiting. It's got to be really out of the box for me to go away from the favourites.
It's got to be out of the box for you to tip North interstate.
They're the
I
favourites.
know it's West Coast. Yeah, I know. It's
Do you
tough.
want to see one that I mucked around with on the weekend?
Yeah, off you go.
What do you got?
So, see the greens there?
That's a lot of greens and one red.
One
it's about
red.
12 greens and one red.
One red, and the red is just there. You can read
God,
that one.
this is going to be a horrendous beat. Which one is it? Jacob Hopper to get 20 plus and he had 18.
That was
Check them off at 18.
15,000.
Is that right? Was he ever tracking for the 20? Did he start? Well, and then- he was always behind. Always
cold as ice.
Brutal.
Were you riding it, or were you something
No, it was like fourth leg. So it's the third leg out.
right.
So I was like, oh, well, that's done. And then I looked at it at the end because I had $100 in there. And that was it. So I was like, oh, at the start, I was walking around the golf course. I said, Selb, today's the day I knock one out of the park. And we walked around and we debated, like, do we think this player? And Hopper had, against Freo the week before, 19 in the second half.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, we've ironed out those creases and Hopper's hot. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Jacob Hopper.
18.
So then you jumped in his DMs like one of those full-on numbers.
No, you.
Yeah.
You owe me money, you dickhead. No, but the funny thing is, and that is one thing, like, I don't care. Like, bad luck, whatever, next one. I just thought it was funny that Jacob Hopper, who I spent so long researching, was the one who let me down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, that was Hardball Bets, thanks to Tab Touch and the Tab Touch app. Got the touch this AFL season. Choose Tab Touch. Better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly. Call Gamblers Help on 1-800-858-858. This has been the Hardball Gets AFL show, proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do you. See you next time.